This is my backpacking trip from Tuolumne Meadows to Sonora Pass. As you can see in these pictures, Tuolumne Meadows had some local residents out to greet me. Very, very tame, not too surprisingly. But then you can see this next shot, view to the southwest, Cathedral Peak there on the right, and then down to Wild Canyon. This is looking almost due south, again across the meadow. And then you can see the river here and the fly fishermen taking advantage of the beautiful stream there. And then the stream continues on down and starts to drop down into Tuolumne Canyon here. And Glen Ellen High Sierra Camp is just down at the base there. This is looking upstream towards Cold Canyon, where I'm going to be heading. And here the river is making its way down the canyon. This is up at the top of the canyon, and then this is down by Glen Ellen High Sierra Camp. And then once it gets started up Cold Canyon, there's this meadow here. It goes on for a couple of miles, and got a nice shot here, and then took a panorama and give you a better feeling for how the whole meadow looks. And then this is the next day, starting to climb up out of the Cold Canyon, and then looking off to the south at the snow-capped mountains there. And then further shot of the snow on the north-facing slopes. And then I tried out my selfie stick, so to speak, with a camera clamp on my trekking poles. Sorry about the exposure there. I had planned to spend the night at Miller Lake, which is here, but I didn't get that far. It turns out to be just as well, because there are quite a few mosquitoes in this area. I had none where I camped. And this is Matterhorn Canyon, beautiful canyon. I'm going to drop down to the bottom of this. And if you zoom in on the center there, you can see the ridge here is really quite rugged. But it's an amazing canyon. And once I get down to the bottom of the canyon, I could see this cliff face here, which I thought was pretty impressive cliff face. And differently from what I'm used to, we had an awful lot of trees to walk through. This is up at the top of the pass, Benson Pass, looking forward. This is looking back the way I came. And then again, broke out the selfie stick again. I got a shot of myself with a mosquito on my forehead. Again, the mosquito started up at the top of the pass. Here's a short video. Okay, I'm on top of Benson Pass right now. This is the valley I came up behind me there. Got some snow. Haven't had to walk across any yet. Probably will on the way down. Mosquitoes are appearing now. And didn't have to do much snow crossing. The trail avoided that, but look at the north-facing slopes here. Had me a little bit concerned about the future of this trip. But they managed to get the trail away from the snow for the most part. This is Smedberg Lake, very pretty lake. It looks kind of like Desolation Valley with all the little islands in the lake. Then here's the next morning, and looking at the sun coming up on these peaks here. And then a little bit further down the trail, you can see the peak again, and then off to the right is the canyon I'm going to be heading up this morning. And then off to the left, down there at the bottom, you can see Benson Lake. The trail doesn't actually go to the lake, but you can see it from here, obviously. Then as I'm climbing up towards Sealy Pass, this looks back to where I had been, looking back towards Benson Pass. And this is a little lake up near the top of the pass. Beautiful lake. nice reflection, very still, very clear water. Amazing that something like this could exist. This is on the other side of the pass. The pass itself was very unremarkable, not even worth taking a picture. This view was really nice, and I especially like this view with the tree extending out over the water and then its reflection in the water. And here's a tree growing on some rocks out in another little pond, too small to be called a lake really. And then this other rock had some flowers growing on top of it also. Very pretty. Then it started dropping down into Kennedy Canyon. Here's the canyon looking to the northwest. And then here it is looking to the northeast. I'm going to be heading to the northwest. And again, walking through the woods, not all bare granite here. It's very, very lush, very, very pretty down here. And then this is the next morning, early, before the rain started. You can see the lake there is very calm. And I took this picture. This is what most of the day was like. Very little in the way of a view because it was raining all day long. Had to stand under a tree. This is Dorothy Lake, just before Dorothy Lake Pass, and where I exit Yosemite Valley. And here I am the next morning, bright and clear and sunny. And so I'm heading off this direction. Here I am with the snow-capped mountains behind me, and then looking back to where I had come from that morning. You can probably hear the wind. And then up there you can see the clouds blowing by. Yes, indeed. It is just a little bit windy this morning. Okay, here's that little meadow down there in the bottom is where I had spent the night. And that's Kennedy Canyon down there. And here's the snow-capped mountains that you can see from the ridge top there. Not really a named pass. And I believe that this valley is the valley that leads down into Kennedy Meadows on top of this ridge, getting close to my destination. Clouds blowing by. Justice. Doesn't need it to take a video. Sorry. Okay, and then you can look down on this zigzag section that I had climbed up already this morning. If you zoom in closely, you can see that there's somebody following along behind me. You can see him silhouetted against the snow there. More video. So you say I got my head up in the clouds? Yeah. Pretty much the rest of me too right now. Okay, as you can hear in the videos, it was pretty darn windy. And this is looking down into the canyon that leads to Kennedy Meadows. And this is looking back the way I had come along the trail there. You can see that it's nothing but rock. And then we have a nice panorama here showing, I'll be heading off to the left there at the beginning of that. And then this is looking almost due east at this point here. Very pretty scenery, very rugged in this area. And this is looking further to the south. And this is approaching the top of the ridge, which will allow me to drop down to get to Sonora Pass. And this is a shot of the again to the east there, and try to get a good shot to the south, but the clouds are forming as quickly as they're moving. And see the tracks in the snow? I just came down that slope there. Had a pretty good clip there. Tried to slide as much as possible. Nice little frozen lake down there in the bottom. And in this next shot, you can see that little notch is where the trail goes. You see the trail leading to it? That's the pass right there. A little knife edge ridge. And again, clouds are forming as the air is being pushed up over these hills. Very, very rugged. This volcanic rock just crumbles really easily, weathers an awful lot compared to the granite. And that's looking down the Sonora Pass Road towards Bridgeport. Okay, the end is in sight, pretty much literally. It's straight ahead, it's Sonora Pass. First time I've looked down at it. I thought this little lake here is really cool. No way to get this in one picture without Photoshop. So I took another couple of pictures of this little lake rimmed with ice and snow. And then this is looking down the canyon to the west. This is the bottom of the canyon, the road leading to Sonora Pass, from the west. And there's the pass itself, right in the center, down at the bottom of that ridge. And this shows, if you look carefully, you can see some snowboard tracks going down there. Apparently people hike up to the top and snowboard down. And I had to cross this entire snowfield to get to Sonora Pass. You see the tracks leading off to the right there. And then here's a view of the pass itself. There's a canyon leading up from the west, there in the center. Comes up, and to the top of that ridge, there you see the roads straight ahead in the center. That's right at the top of the pass. And then looking off towards Bridgeport. And that was my trip.